Hey, so a lot of you have been asking about how I made my Gravity Falls remix. So in this video, I'm going to break down how I made the Gravity Falls remix. Alright, so here is the full project layout. I did the arrangement in Ableton Live, best known for its wubs and subs and DJ scrubs, and the end result totaled at around 20 tracks, 21 including a track of vocals that I didn't use. And that list of instruments ranges from the glockenspiel, harps, 7 violins, a flute, 3 basses, 2 of them are cellos and 1 of them is a sub bass, 4 layers of percussion, and 1 bell. Now, first things first, but I remake as much as the original songs that I can. And I've done this with like Albanana, Stronger Than You, and Megalovania, Megal something? Hang on, I mean, how do I...
Megalovania.
Okay. So here we have the project file, fully expanded out and here for you to see. There's nothing really too special about this remix. All I really did was I just took the 40 seconds that was the original intro and just stretched that out to 4.5 minutes. So yeah, that's kind of the process that went into that. The only thing that's really creative is like this section here, because it's that section. I'll get to it later. So I guess I'll start by explaining all the sounds and everything that went into this. So the top 3 layers are really all just the same sound, which is this glockenspiel ding, which, by the way, I do apologize for the audio quality of this music. I recorded a whole take and it didn't have any audio. The second couple takes I was able to do, it sounded just like this. I apologize. Anywho, so yeah, the first 3 layers are just the glockenspiel, but you have the actual instrument playing the main opening melody, and everything up here is just one singular ding, but played in reverse with a lot of heavy reverb. So like this reverb. So this sound here, for example, is that same deal. That's been designed to be a riser as well as a riser. And then I use that sound loop again to do this bit, which is just the same sound played twice and then repeated again at a lower note. Then with the 3 played together, we have the introduction bit sequence. The next sound that comes in is the harp, which sounds like... which in actuality is just the ding here, but played with a harp. So it's the same track, just with a harp. And then that is also accompanied with a the percussions, because everyone likes percussions. And the percussions are just I have this library called Damage from Heaviosity, which was just super sexy drum sequences or drum patches. So that's that opening sequence, and then the next part is like I say is I'm allowed. Each section in this is basically just repeated like 3 or 4 times, but every time a section repeats, I add another layer of sound to it. So at the beginning it was just the dings, the dingleberries, And then it was the violins and the percussions. And the next piece is with some violins that sound like, as well as my basses. And the basses here are just, it's just a cello, a double bass cello, or a double bass. Sorry, it's probably just a double bass, not a double bass cello. Despite the fact that it probably looks like a cello. Anywho, and a sub bass, which you might not be able to hear that well, but this is a patch from Massive. That's just a nice. And these three layered together brings you. So like different layers of bass. So all together, they all sound like. And yeah, that's super cute, super kawaii, crazy. And then for the record, the violins here are just playing what the harps are playing, but with a violin. So then we double that up, or not really double it up. We repeat it. I think a second time, and then we use this riser here. Use the riser, as well as this cymbal, this drum roll, as well as a gong that used to be here, but I didn't load it in. So just imagine a gong going wow, 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 and then a bell, a beautiful church bell, as well as percussion to kind of tell the listener that the song is now changing into a new sequence or segment, which is, sorry, let me just see this part. Now there isn't really anything happening in this part. It's just the dings that are now they switch from playing in reverse to not being reversed. So now you can hear that they're more glockenspiel than crazy mystical mystery bits. And then at this section, all that's really happening is this flute, this violin, and this other violin are now singing the second melody in harmony. You guys also might be wondering why it says gross whist here. Originally I had a VST, or a sound that was an actual whistle, but it wasn't my whistle, so it sounded very terrible and I didn't want to use it, so I just changed it to a flute, because, you know, flutes, whistles, they're both brass. So that happens for a bit. And then, this part, which is we double this violin up again, which are his violins. So there's essentially like plucking a string on a violin, kind of, unless I'm wrong and you violinists out there are wronging me up here. I'm probably gonna get a lot of musical terms wrong just throughout this explanation, because I'm not that musically inclined, but I try, right? I try. So then we bring in the harps, which are just playing the same opening melody again. This melody is played by the harps throughout the entire thing. Like they don't stop actually playing this. So that harp player is just, oh man, he's just going at it. So and then we have, so then everything layered together sounds like. And the next part, when we repeat it again, we get not these vocals. We didn't use the vocals. We have harps or violins doing this, as well as these violins that are, I probably said they were doubled, but they're still doubled. And then these violins, which are just sustained, like sustained strums, I guess. Oh, and I almost forgot. And at this point, the percussion goes going wild because we added in. Oh, I added in some more snares doing their snare bits. It's snare amazing. So then all together it sounds like and this section here is kind of like the did I do that here? Yeah, we have the transition percussions and drum bits that bring us into the chorus, I suppose, that everybody knows and loves. Which is made up of the dings playing forward, the harps, these violins playing that melody. These violins down here don't do anything different. And then we have the plucked violins, which are playing the same use, and then everything else is basically just copying everything else. Actually, we should finish that. And then the basses doing the same deal. And then the percussion, they actually change it up a little bit and build up to and then we repeat this twice. Actually, we also have the bells down here that kind of add a little bit of an oomph for every section. You kind of hear it a little bit. And then you also might be wondering, well, Colton, where's the 7th violin? I only counted 3 up here. The last one is this is a trill violin, which does exactly what the name implies. It trills. So, and this is also used as another riser to bring us into this next section, which sounds like I'm so handicapped. I'm sorry, guys. Which is now the harp taking all the glory here, or the front center kind of. And then the dings trying to get that spotlight. So at this part, we have the violins kind of doing their own thing. This section is where I took creative liberty to kind of stretch the song on a bit more, as well as use this as an entire reason to make an entire section for entire buildup. AKA, this whole section is basically just one big buildup to the ending. Done through the sounds of violins. So it's there. It's mostly by itself, except for the percussion, all that fun stuff, which sounds like because this one I just removed the thicker hits at the bottom and left the snares at the top. and then those violins then triple to kind of give it a little more depth. And then we have those beautiful plucked violins jumping in, you know, kind of like jumping in. Can't really hear them too much, but they're there. They're making noise. I hear them. I smell them. And then the violin, or the harps too. I keep getting those mixed up, the violins and the harps. Mainly because they're probably both strings, and I use them both for the same purposes at times. That's doing what it's always been doing, just playing the main jingle. And then we get the big super finish. This part here, this whole section here, which is the big grandiose. Oh my gosh, it's Gravity Falls. It's back. We're back from the summer. We're back from the summer. Oh, we're good. It's basically just this sequence here with like 2 new layers of sounds. Like the bass has been tripled up a bit, so instead of it sounding like like this, it sounds like this. These violins, they all stay the same. They don't do much. Plucked violin, that's still the same. The only thing new in this sequence is the fact that the dings have now been slowed down to 1 ding every 2 bars. I think this is a bar. Don't hate me if it's not. Just do 1. Oh, that sounds really weird. Ugh. Well, yeah, those are the dings. We love the dings. And then this violin that I kept trying to talk about, but kept getting sidetracked about talking about. But it's this violin here. But it's now playing a very attention-drawing melody. Appreciate, brother. So then, and then down here we have all our risers essentially every coming in a lot more because they want to be in a lot more, as well as the bells helping them out because they just actually helping all the percussion out. And then it's kind of that chorus part. It's just that section. This section repeated 4 times, and every time it's repeated, something new is added. So the second bit would be we add the dings back in. So yeah, dings, and then the second repeated sequence, we have, the only thing that's different is the fact that I took this and didn't play it again, but instead we added violins that played this melody instead. And that plays twice for both respective areas. And then actually that's kind of it for that sequence. So you got the dings, reverb dings, the not so reverb dings, the not so reverb dings, the harps, the violins 1, which is our marks, our not plucky doos, or like triplet strumbit things. Sorry, or plucky doos, which you don't really hear in the final. And then our sustained violin, and flute. Sorry. Our basses to help bring more bass to our bass, because Boogles love bass. Why am I not doing this? Boogles love bass. And then we tie it down with some percussion, and a bell. It's great. We get percussion. And then all together, you get what it sounds like. And that's how that sequence was pieced together. Nothing super fantastic. Unless you think it's fantastic, then by all means, it's fantastic. And then all of this builds itself up to the ending bit, or the outro, which is just taken away by the harp, as well as some reverse dings to kind of like keep the mystery going, and the glockenspiel, I love that name, taking us home with its own little improvised melody bit, and it's completely different until we hit those last couple notes. Oh yeah, and that glitched out effect thing. Basically, this thing is just a ding. It's just your favorite ding. I'm sorry, your favorite ding, but pitched up super high and brought down completely, like pitched way the fudge down so that it sounds like the original glitch sound effect, I guess. I thought it was pretty clever. It's probably not that clever, but do I care? A little bit. Sorry. So this part, I don't know why, but it actually took me a bit of time to come up with it, because I was like, I can't just have it just hit those notes, this part, like almost immediately. Like you would need it to flow into it. So I'm like, but how? And then I tried a couple different versions. None of them really sounded that great. And I was just like, why doesn't the glockenspiel just take it home? Why don't you just take it home? And he does take us home. He literally gets in the car and he's just like, he turns around and he's just like, Dipper, Mabel, and they're just like, why is this glockenspiel talking to us? And why is it driving the van? And he just goes, guys, it's time for an adventure. And that adventure ends up being the entire series of Gravity Falls. And then they go home, and their parents are just like, kids, what'd you get up to? And they're just like, this instrument brought us on this wild, wacky adventure where we fought this triangle with a hat. And our uncle, Stan, is not actually our uncle. I was trying to ghost him about that, but I don't know where. Okay. So that's essentially what went into the Gravity Falls. Yeah, there was the vocals that I didn't use, which I was kind of like, I opened up the project again and I was just like, I didn't use these? Why didn't I use these? And then I had them on and I realized that they sounded like crap, so I'm like, so yeah, I didn't use those guys. And that's kind of it for what went into this bad boy. And you might have been wondering, hey, Densle, Why didn't you just take the original 40 seconds and just stretch it out? Well, I did. I addressed that in the beginning, actually. And then you might be saying, but what about all those extended versions? And I say, no. Those versions are the same 40 seconds, looped for an hour, as you can see here. Alright, we're going to play Gravity Falls theme song for an hour. Here we go. Crap. Well, and I guess that concludes the Gravity Falls breakdown behind the scenes. If you guys found this insightful or interesting or entertaining or I don't know what, if you guys want me to do this for any of the other songs that I've made, so like Stronger Than You or Harvey Beaks or the Just Do It remix, let me know and I can try to whip one of these out for one of those guys. And yeah, I'm your host, Densle / Colton. Thanks for watching, and you can catch me next time on Densle Band. Sorry. You guys make sure to subscribe